And he granted our request for a preliminary injunction against 5 of the federal agencies that we had named as defendants: the White House, the CDC, the FBI, the Surgeon General, and a little known agency called CISA.
Thank God.
The government, yeah, thank God, exactly. It was a terrific ruling, and he said some really astonishing things in that ruling. He said, for example, if what plaintiffs allege is true, and by issuing the injunction, he indicated, looks like it's probably true. One of the criteria is it's likely the plaintiffs will prevail on the merits of the arguments. If what plaintiffs allege is true, this is the worst free speech violation in United States history. That wasn't me saying that. That wasn't our lawyers saying that. That was the federal judge saying that when he looked at the evidence that we had submitted to the court. He used language along the lines of, it appears that the government has set up a dystopian, Orwellian ministry of truth. Anyone who's read George Orwell's classic 1984 will understand what that is a reference to. And the government obviously didn't like the court stepping in and saying, stop, you can't do that anymore. You can't coerce social media companies to do your bidding. That's a clear violation of First Amendment free speech rights. So they appealed to the circuit court. The Fifth Circuit upheld that injunction. They narrowed it slightly, but upheld the key provisions in that injunction, a 3-judge unanimous panel there. So far, we're 4 for 4 on federal judges. The district court judge, a 3-judge panel at the Fifth Circuit, upheld the injunction. And the government appealed again to the Supreme Court. So just a few weeks ago, of course, yeah, I mean, they can't take no for an answer. So they're going to take it all the way to the top. So I was at the Supreme Court a few weeks ago with some of the co-plaintiffs and obviously with our lawyers, where we had oral arguments specifically regarding the injunction. So the Supreme Court should come out with a final ruling, most likely at the end of their term in June. And we're hoping that the court will do the right thing and agree with both of the lower courts that the injunction is warranted. Regardless of what the Supreme Court does, this is not a final ruling in the case. The case will then go back to the district court for the trial phase, where we'll get additional discovery. We'll get additional information on exactly what the government has been doing. We'll be able to depose. We'll be able to cross-examine basically many more of the individuals and agencies that have been named as defendants. So I think this is important, not only to have the courts intervene and hopefully put a dent in the government censorship industrial machinery, but also to educate the American people, first of all, that this is happening, the scope of what's happening, and why it's important.